Aparokshanubhuti is a very wonderful composition of Shankaracharya ji. He gives very clear and distinctive thought of our own son, true nature. Verse number 11 to 16. In these 6 verses, Shankaracharya ji gives vivid picture of vichar, inquiry. We are human being. Bhagavan has given special faculty to us to think. So we can think with help of scripture. We can think with help of preceptor. Then and then our thinking will be proper, complete. And we will reach the culmination of our vichar. There are so many other means, but among them, vichar or inquiry or thinking about the self is more important. Without inquiry, knowledge will not take place. You may do your karma yogas or you may do your upasanas. You may travel around the earth. You may visit different holy places. You may control your breath. But all these are means. These means cannot take us to right thinking. So, अन्य साधन ही विचारेण विना ज्ञानम न उत्पद्यते. If you want to see the particular object vividly, we need light. And there, your pranayama will not help us. Just from where, anywhere, you bring the light and see the objects lying in the darkness. In the same way, ignorance is the darkness, and in that ignorance, there are so many things to know. And by vichar, by the inquiry, by the thinking, is the only means to get our own true nature. So, who am I? Oham, kathamidam jatam. How is this world created? Ovai kartasya vidyate. Who is the doer? Who is the creator of this entire cosmos? And what are the material cause? What is the material cause of this entire cosmos? What is the material cause? What is the efficient cause? In this way, we have to inquire. We have to think. So, saha ayam vicharaha idrushaha. This is the way to think. Then he started thinking. on the basis of our own experience. And he says that, see, you are observing five great elements: earth, water, air, fire, and space, sky. These are the Bhuta Ganaha, the combination of five great elements. But I am not combination of five great elements. It means I am not five great elements in outside also, and I am not combination of five great elements in this body. This body is also product of five great elements. Therefore, deha, aham na deha. I am not this body, who is the products of five great elements. And when we observe outside around us, there are also five great elements. I am not that. Naham bhutaganaha, naham deha, cha na aham akshaganaha. Akshaganaha, the combination of senses. It means I am not sense organs, actions organs. I am different from inner and outer organs. Inner organs means mind, intellect, memory, and ego. So we are completely different from five great elements. I am completely different from this body. I am completely different from the collection of these sense organs and actions organs. Then how how can I all this? So I am completely different from these elements. So slowly, we are disassociated from the external object by thinking. So Shankaracharya says that look at, observe it, analyze it, and discriminate it. Because you always think yourself with something, but you are not something, you are unique, you are different from everything. He says that ajnana prabhavam sarvam jnanena praviliyate. Sankalpo vividha karta vichara swayam idrushaha. Whatever you see around the world, they are products of ignorance. Sarvam ajnana prabhavam. Everything is produced by ignorance. When you see snake on the rope, ghost on the post, you see blue sky. There is one moon, but you see two moons. There is a Shukti, but you see the Rajat on that. So, who created this everything? Snake is not there, even though you see in front of you, snake appears on the rope. Who created? Because we are ignorant about the substratum, and that ignorance has a two aspects: willing aspects and projecting aspects. Aurana Shakti and Vikshap Shakti. Willing power covers that substratum, and on that, something ignorance creates on that something. So, Everything is ajnana prabhavam. Everything is a production of the ignorance. But when a knowledge of take place, when we have a knowledge of the rope, the illusory snake will disappear. When we have a knowledge of silver, their shell will disappear. When we have knowledge of the post, ghost will disappear. So, what is jnanena praviliyate? Dissolve in the wake of knowledge. So, ajnana, sarvam ajnana prabhavam, sarvam ajnana praviliyate. Sankalpa vividha kartaha. Who is the creator of everything? We are have different thoughts. We are the created all these objects out of ignorance. Because one person see rope, snake on the rope. Another person sees garlands on the rope. Someone different other person sees the crack, earth crack on the rope. Means what types of thought in you, according the impression of your thought, you created different types of object on the substratum. Sankalpa vividaha. You are the generator of so many things on the substratum out of ignorance. This is the thought. So we are ignorant about the substratum. Then again he tells us to our experience. Look at you yatayoho yat upadanam ekam suksham sad avyeha yathaiva mrudghatadinam vichara swayam idrushaha. It is a discrimination between seer and seen. Drugdrushya vivek. When we see the pot and pot is produced, pot is the products, and it is produced by from material cause pot mud. Upadanam mrut bhavati. So mud or clay is the material cause of the pot. And pot is effect. And clay is cause. Okay. Material cause is one. Material cause means mud is one. And you created so many pots from the earth. So effects are many, cause is one. Effects are very gross. Directly we can perceive it, but cause is very subtle. The effects are changing, is mutable, but cause is unchanging, immutable. When you observe this pot and clay, then we have to observe body and its cause. Bodies are many, but its cause is one. Bodies are very gross, but its cause is very subtle. Bodies are changing continuously, but cause of all these bodies are constantly remaining behind the structure. Think in this way, and you are the cause. And everything Whatever you experience are effects. Okay. Again, again, he takes us very close to how to think properly. Aham ekopi sukshmascha jnata sakshi sadavyayah तदहम नात्र संदेहो विचार स्वयं ईदृशः. अहम एकः. I am one. And whatever I observed, objects are many. I am unable to comprehend by senses. I am very subtle. And others' parts are very gross, we can perceive directly through our eyes. I am the knower. All objects are known by me. I know my thought. I know my emotion. I know all my body's modifications. They come under the category of knowable object. And I am the knower. I am the one. Knowable objects are many. I am the witness. And all the objects are become a subject of my awareness. I am ever existence. So, therefore, I am not mind, body, and intellect. Without any doubt. Tadaham natra sandyoho vichara swayam idrusha. So, as I am also the one, the subtle, the knower, the witness, and ever existent, and the unchanging. So, there is no doubt that I am that. Such this inquiry. Okay. Again, it takes us to the inquiry. See yourself. See yourself as Atman. Atma विनिष्कला एको देह बहुभि आवृता तयो ऐक्यं प्रपश्यन्ति किम अज्ञानम अतः परम. From verse number 17 to 20 or 21, there is another sets of discrimination. If you divided two parts in this world, one is subject and another is object. Object is not the subject and subject does not become the object. The nature of subject and object are completely different and opposite to each other. Even though if someone sees oneness in between subject and object, then Shankaracharya says that tayo aikyam prapashyanti, one who sees the oneness between them, kim ajnanam atah param, what is the great ignorance? So he gives a very two different classifications. Each slokas he has gives two example for analysis, and he applies here the analytical method to discriminate between subject and object. You will see in each and every shlokas, there will be the two examples. And two examples are completely different from each other. And if there is no oneness, then how you can consider there is oneness in them? And if you see it, it is the result of ignorance. This is the greater effects of ignorance. In this way, all these slokas goes on smoothly. We'll start. Atma vinishkalaha. In me, means in my own true nature, means in self, there is no any parts. There is no any distinguish, because that self is always one. Okay? I, subject, is one. And all objects are many. Then one thing is very clear. You are the subject, which is one. And other parts, they are the objects, they are many. How will be possible to establish oneness in between one and many? One boy is one side, another many girls there. How marriage can possible? So, second, Vinishkalaha. In Atman, there is no kala. There is no parts. There is no variation. But look at the body. There are so many parts in the body. When you see that, body is the product of 5 great elements. It means in the body, there is earth, water, fire, air, and space. This is the parts of the gross body. And how many parts of the subtle body? 5 sense organs, 5 actions organs, pancha pranas, man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. These are the various variation or parts of the subtle body. But in me, there is no part. I am partless. And this body, I am Atmaha Vinishkalaha Ekaha. Deha Kalaha. And Bahubhihi Avrutaha. Atman is verily one and without parts, whereas the body consists many parts. Bahubhi Avrutaha. Deha Bahubhi Avrutaha. Atma Vinishkalaha. Deha in Dehe Kalaha. Deha Eka Atma Ekaha. Deha Anekaha. Bahubhi Avruttaha. Tayo Aikyam Prapashyanti. If one sees the oneness between subject and object, Kim Ajnanamata Param. What else can be called ignorance but this? How is the greater ignorance? You see the oneness in them. So then again, he gives one sets in front of us. Atma niyamakaha cha antaha. Deha bahyaha niyamyakaha. Tayoraikyam prapashyanti kim ajnanamatah param. Oh, there are subject and object again. And we are the subject. Who is the subject? Niyamaka, controller. So self is the controller. Self is the subject who is the controller. Body is the object which is controlled by me. Okay. Self, which is inner, and body is outer. Different direction. One is inner, one is outer. One is a controller and another is controlled. Different entities, different qualities, different features in between subject and object. And even though one see the oneness among them, in between them, tayoraikyam prapashyanti kim ajnanamatah param. So this is the great ignorance. And because of that ignorance, you see the oneness in them. So the Atman, the self, is inside and he is the controller. The body is outside and is controlled. Yet they see identity in them. What more ignorance can there be than this? Atmaha niyamakaha. Suppose, example, I will give you an example. Bulb and electricity. Electricity goes through bulb and we see the light. Electricity controlled light. Bulb cannot, bulb is controlled and electricity is controller. In this way, the consciousness exists in me. In the presence of this consciousness, intellect functions, mind functions, all sense organs are functioning in their particular given field. Breathing is going on smoothly and continuously. All the systems in the body are functioning very smoothly. By whose presence? Directly, the consciousness does not do anything, but its presence, everything happens smoothly. Therefore, Atma is a controller and all instruments are controlled. And how controller and controlled become one and the same? One is consciousness, another is inert. And how can be inert and consciousness become one and the same? And even though you see oneness in them, nothing, anything, it's just ignorance. Okay. Again, two examples. Each slokas, they will give two sets of example. How is the Atman and how is the Anatma? Analyze it according to your capability and ability. You say that Atma Jnanamaya, Deha Mausmaya, Atma Punyamaya, and Deha Asuchi. Jnana, Atma Jnanamaya. Self or consciousness is the embodiment of knowledge. Knowledge is the nature of the self. Knowledge is not the attributes of the self, or knowledge is not the quality of the self. It is the nature of the self. Jnanamaya. There is homogeneousness consciousness. Self is the homogeneousness consciousness. Only knowledge is there. And what about body? In body, sapt dhatus are there. Blood is there. Bone is there. Flesh is there. Urine is there. So, Atma Jnanamayaha, Deha Mansamayaha. Blood and flesh and filth and everything in the body. How body and self can be one? Second, Atma Punyamayaha. This self is very auspicious. If you abide in the self, we will get happiness, contentment, peace, serenity. But if we remain long time attached with body, we'll see consequences of the body. If you do not take a bath few days, we'll start smelling. We cannot stand up that person who does not take a bath for few days. So asuchihi, as are impurities. The self is the embodiment of knowledge. The object body is the Mausamayaha, is the combination of so many impurities. Atma is a punya, auspicious, and body is unauspiciousness. These two aspects are different from each other, even though someone see oneness in them. What a greater ignorance than this. So, the pure consciousness Atman is auspicious, and the flesh impurity body is unauspiciousness. Yet they see identity in them. What greater ignorance can there be than this? So, second sets of discrimination. Atma prakashakaha swachchaha dehastamasa uchyate tayoraikyam prapashyanti kim ajnanamatah param. See yourself. Atma prakashakaha. Self, by the nature, self is the illuminator. Self illuminates intellect. It illuminates mind. It illuminates senses. All thoughts, all emotions, all feelings, all activities happening in your body. And who knows it? You. So you are the illuminator. And all the parts of your body are illuminated by illuminator self. Atma prakashaka. Then Atma swachha. Absolutely pure, swachha. There is no any impurities. And in body, dehas tamasaha. Uchyate. This body is inert, insentient, illuminated by the self. How possible? How it is possible? Oneness in them. The Atman, the illuminator, is absolutely pure. And the body, illuminated inert, is inert. Yet, they see identity in them. What greater ignorance can there be than this? So, there cannot be identity. So, we should not identify with mind, body, and intellect because the attributes features of subject and object completely different from each other. Again and again, he emphasizes and tells us what is the discrimination, what is the vichar. Think in this way, think in this way, think in this way. Atma nitya hi sadrupaha, deha anitya hi asanmayaha, tayoraikyam prapashyanti kim ajnanamata param. So, what is the self? Atma nityaha. Self is eternal and body is temporary. Self is permanent and body is impermanent. Same self is imperishable, body is the perishable. Self remains always in one and the same states. Body does not remain one state in all time. It goes changing. So Atma Nitya Sadrupaha. It is nature by existence. Body Anityaha, transient, impermanent. Asanmayaha. The body does not have an independent existence. Asanmaya. Sometimes we say, I was boy. Then I was a Kumar. Then I was youth. Now I am elder. After some time, I become old. And after some time, I will disappear from this world, from the body level. Asanmayaha. So we are not existed before. I will not be exist in future. And even today, I am existing now, but this existence is not continuously. Asanmayaha. Really, I have no real existence. Non-existent I am. Non-existence. Body is a non-existence. Doesn't have existence. Then Nitya and Anitya, how can be one? Sadrup and Chidrup, how can be one? Non-existence and existence, how can be the one? Even though out of ignorance, you see or I see or some ignorant person may identify subject and object together. That is the great ignorance. It's laughable thought. Shankaracharya says, it is not possible. What not possible? The verily Atman is eternal and of the nature of ever existence. The body is transient, non-existence. Yet they see their identity. What greater ignorance can there be than this? Slowly, slowly, he takes us to the point that subject and object cannot become one. Or there is a total impossibility, oneness between subject and object by giving different and opposite examples. And Shankaracharya ji gives us a space to think on that. And as a human being, I will agree, or spiritual seekers will agree, yes, their nature are completely different from each other. As a subject and object analysis, or seen or seer analysis. Seer is different from seen, and seen is different from seer. First sets of analysis. Second sets of analysis, subject and object. Nature of the subject is different from nature of the object. And nature of features are different from the nature of subject. How can be the oneness in them? And even though you identify yourself with not self, is the result of ignorance, is a result of immaturity, is a result of non-thinking. So think more and more. Again, Shankaracharya ji established new setup for thinking. Okay, you thought, say and seen, you thought on subject and object, and I know that you may have reached in particular conclusion, and that conclusion will be you are not different from, you are completely different from seen, you are completely different from object, you are seer and you are subject. Okay, then new site start from 22. Shankaracharya ji tells us what he tells. Atmanas tat prakashatvam yat padartha avabhasanam nagnadi diptavad diptavad dipti bhavantyandhyam yato nishi. So, what is the thought in them? Atmanas tat prakashatvam yat, that which in self, padartha avabhasanam, manifestation of all objects. Padartha avabhasanam means all padarthas, all objects, all things come under the our awareness. Means we are aware of all things. Padartha avabhasanam. Tat atmanaha prakashatvam. When in the light of consciousness, we are aware of all things and beings in this cosmos, entire cosmos. Okay. It means Atman is the illuminator. Sir, I have a question. Sun is also illuminator. Moon is also illuminator. Fire is also illuminator. Lamp is also illuminator. And you say that in the presence of Atman, we are aware of each and everything in this world. But in the presence of sunlight, we are also aware of the object. In the presence of moonlight, we are also aware of the other objects. In the presence of fire, in the presence of stars, lamp, fire, oh, ho, ho. Then why are you emphasizing again and again? Self is the illuminator. But there are innumerable objects in this world. They are illuminate so many objects. Atmanah tat prakashatvam. Yet padartha avabhasanam. Whatever objects you aware, that objects are illuminated by the consciousness. When you see the sun, moon, do you know whose light is existing, whose lights is exist in sun, whose light exists in moon? Chandramasi achagno tat tejo vidhimamakam. Sun and moon illumine so many things. They are illuminator, but their illumination is not independently. I illuminate them, and that illumination takes for me, and then they illuminate to other object. But difference between the self real illuminator and sun, moon, fire, and other illuminators, what is the difference between them? The sun, the moon, the fire, and lamp, they do not illuminate darkness. But self illuminates all objects also, and self illuminate even darkness also. Self illuminate knowledge also, and self illuminate ignorance also. The self is the illuminator of ignorance and knowledge. Self is the illuminator of inert objects and the darkness also. When in the darkness, we do not see the object, but we see there is a darkness. It means the darkness come under in the observation of my light. I illumine the darkness, but sun and moon does not illumine, or they do not illumine the darkness. So real illuminator is the self. In the darkness, we can listen the words and understand, oh, this sound belongs to my son. This sound belong to my wife. This sound belongs to my daughter. In darkness, we are aware of the sound. Somebody bring the very fragrance flower. Immediately, we are aware of the smell. Good fragrance. It means in the darkness, we illuminate fragrance. We illuminate sound. We illuminate taste. We illuminate all objects along with darkness also. It means I am the real illuminator. And that real illuminator is the nature of me. So, Atmanastat prakashatvam yat padartha avabhasanam. Agnyadi diptivat, like the light of fire and rest. Atmanaha dipti, the lights of the Atman illuminate the darkness. The other do not illuminate the darkness. So I am completely different from everything. So I am disassociated from everything. So illuminatory, we can say that uh, the light of the Atman illumines everything. But its light is not like that of fire and so on, because in spite of its light, there is a darkness at the night. And I illumine that darkness. So I am self-illumination. I am self-illuminator. I illumine everything. I does not need any light to illumine itself. So I am so Prakash Rupam. And this is another set. Shankaracharya starts from these slokas and few another slokas. This thought is going continuously. We'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om